Chandigarh uniquely has sectors. The same way the uniqueness was carried forward because this is a dense urban setup in which there are a lot of houses. And this particular house in itself had to be very unique. The design program over here was pretty simple. We were fairly clear as to, given the surroundings, this house had to be contextual to the green area which was there at the backside. The sun directions mattered for us. And everything as a sketch started from there. My name is Navdeep and we run a firm by the name of Design 360. Today we're going to talk about Residence 239. The site is a rectangular one, the basic dimensions being 112 feet on the longer side and 49 feet 6 inches on the shorter side. The house was northwest facing space. So the sunrise was on this side and eventually setting on the west side somewhere here. We enter the house from the west corner of the plot where we have a parking for 2 cars and a large green space takes form and is a lookout from the formal space in the house. The entrance to the house is a grand one. I mean, we did a large door and that opens up into a foyer space. The basic idea over here was that as soon as one enters, one has a vision right till the end of the last wall. And that brings about the idea of having the green space at the back and a visual to it from all spaces in the house. The front of the house has the formal space. It flows seamlessly into a dining, which is in itself a double-heighted space. This has a large set of 2 windows which overlooks a nice courtyard on the outside. And a large set of curtains also then fall right from the roof, controlled through motors and a remote. And going forward, this was the space which was designed for the whole family. This was the living area as well as a self-use kitchen space. So this was a very interactive sort of space where sitting over here, one could experience the visual outside. There was a nice TV wall and food, which plays a very important part in every house, is close by as well. Along with this, on this floor, we had the master bedroom, which has an attached large wardrobe space and a large washroom. The whole space as such was imagined as a very monochromatic white space with concrete ceiling. There very little border of a POP fall ceiling, just accentuating, framing that ceiling. And to bring about that warmth in this space as well, the yellow Jaisalmer flowed into this room. It accentuates the color of the bed just to go along with the whiteness of the space. And besides this, the only other space which occupies this plan is the front, which is like a little den and sitting space overlooking the front driveway. The staircase is placed strategically alongside in a very narrow area, but this narrow area dictated the design of the staircase to be a little different because we did not want it to be a dark space. So it's very well lit up by a skylight above, and that lets in a lot of light from here as well. One winds up through the staircase upwards and we reach an alleyway upstairs which is looking down onto the double-heighted space. As planning, we have 3 bedrooms on this floor. Both the daughters' bedrooms overlooking the green area. On the front side, we have a guest room And here we also planned a small studio for various purposes which overlooks the front green as well. This floor also has a small residual space which we use for some bit of storage, and eventually had jali shutters which enclosed a little puja space as well. What was of the utmost important for us was to bring the living spaces, the bedrooms, to the rear part of the house, and the front side of the house, which was the least sunny. We have cold winters in this climate, so we were able to place requirements which are of little use in the front. So if the staircase and the dining was the heart of the house, I would call this the lungs of the house, because this is where we have all the greens. In this space, we have a little space at the back over here, which is the utility space, and we did a nice brick jali to sort of get some bit of privacy. And brick jali is one of Chandigarh's old elements of houses, so some elements from there as well. So as a design theme, we wanted it to have a bit of eclectic designs incorporated somehow. We ended up using just two stones all over the house, the Kota stone and the Jaisalmer stone. And from the facade perspective also, we were very sure that the palette had to be very minimal again. So we used brick cladding all over the house, along with plaster and texture paint. The whole house had raw concrete ceilings in places, and that provided a bit of a connection to Chandigarh, where we wanted the raw concrete to be part of the house. Designing symmetrically is something which is intrinsic to our design thought. But here, the dictation was basically from the environment, from a lot of elements which were permanently placed. So we ended up with a design which was asymmetrical, not frankly my favorite, but that asymmetry also had to have balance. So that balance had to be created through thoughtful ways of joining certain lines, creating asymmetrical angles. The straight lines were basically leading somewhere. They were not sort of ending without any reason. So that was the idea behind it. The happiness over being able to correlate nature, elements, and the spatial desires in terms of requirements of a client, to balance them out and bring about a solution was the biggest happiness out of this project.